Gavin Newsom, famously on his book tour, makes these statements this week. Take a look.
I'm not trying to impress you. I'm just trying to impress upon you. I'm like you. I'm no better than you. You know, I'm a 960 SAT guy. And, and I'm not trying to offend anyone, trying to act all there if you got 940. But literally a 960 SAT guy. I cannot, you've never seen me read a speech because I cannot read a speech. Maybe the wrong business to be in.
Okay. We're going to keep going, though. We're just going to do this in swift succession. Can you guys please pull up SOT 16?
You've written a hell of a book, and I don't say that lightly. I went through it in a quick hour and a half, almost 2 hours. And trust me, I don't read very fast, but it reads at an unbelievable pace. It's so well written. And of course, it's so familiar because I fell a little bit adjacent.
Does read.
So much of the subject matter,
Crazy.
but it's 18 chapters. It's an impressive piece of work, 263 or so pages.
That he read in an hour and a half. He read 263 pages in an hour and a half, but he doesn't read. Huh. And not only that, did you know that the national SAT average is actually 1030? But whether or not he is, insinuating that people of color are dumb, because I'll give it to you, that could be debatable. There were white people in the audience, so maybe I think he just thinks all of us are dumb. I don't think that he actually was just directing that to black people. I think when he lies to us constantly and people still believe him, you can see why he would think, that we were dumb. Let's keep looking at this, though, because he loves to also discuss that he was poor.
Walking home, got home early. My mom was always working, so, I'm cooking, literally lived on Stouffer's lasagna, macaroni and cheese. I got finished, 2 pots of macaroni and cheese and got bored.
Okay. Poor Gavin. Is he poor? Let's see. Can we play SOT 17?
To be both. You have the hard work and grind, and you had doors open.
Yeah. Oh no. And that's.
I mean, it's not just the Gettys. Your grandfather and your father were both very connected in San Francisco.
I'm here because of all of them and their shoulders, and 100%. And it was those
not
two. So all those doors, all the privileges of those relationships, remarkable gifts. And they're deeply mined and discussed there. And then again with a work ethic from my mom. And so it was both and. And so I was comfortable and uncomfortable in so many ways in both worlds. And I just navigated back and forth. If I was on a vacation, and we describe a number of interesting vacations overseas with my father and the family, these adventures, my mom was back home.
Weren't just adventures. You went on safaris, you took pictures from helicopters, you were
polar
partying with Jack Nicholson.
Yeah, that's we described that in there. It was
But also,
extraordinary.
it was also about paying the bills, man.
Yeah.
And it was just like hustling. Yeah. And so I was out there kind of raising myself, turning on the TV, started, just getting obsessed, sitting there with the Wonder Bread and 5 stacks of,
it's like the White Stack 5 story.
Come on. Kraft macaroni and cheese.
Grew up, bro. Are you talking about me?
Young YG.
YG,
But
man.
every day in the backyard, just bouncing the basketball, throwing the ball against the wall until the ball is just like fraying, man. And your arms fall
yourself.
off. That's it. Whole thing.
There's the code switching. The ball's just like fraying, man. That's it. Yeah, bro. This guy is a sociopath. He wants you to think that he was poor because it's relatable. He'll tell you he was poor. If he wants you to think that he was privileged, he'll tell you he was privileged and has a tremendous pedigree. If he wants you to think that he's black, he'll code switch the way that he speaks. On one hand, he's partying with Jack Nicholson, and then he's simultaneously alone eating Stouffer's. The guy is a sociopath. He was never poor. Not even close. In fact, he was exceptionally wealthy. Why don't we take a look at this graphic 3? High blood pressure is the #1 risk factor for mortality, and 1 in 2 adults has it. So that means there's a 50-50 chance you are a walking time bomb. And I'm sorry to sound dramatic, but there is good news because you can take control of your blood pressure naturally without relying on big pharma. 120 Life is a blend of great tasting superfruit juices that have been shown to lower blood pressure. It's backed by hundreds of doctors and trusted by thousands of people who've seen measurable results. And here's the best part. It's completely risk-free. Try 120 Life for 2 weeks, and if you don't see a difference in your numbers, you get your money back. You just go to 120life.com. That's 120life.com. And you use the code Jillian to save 20% and get free shipping. This is serious. For real, guys. Honestly, this is your life we're talking about. And 120 Life can help. What does comfort that really carries you from morning to night feel like? For me, it's Cozy Earth. And it starts with their essential socks. They're soft, they're breathable, they're thoughtfully cushioned to support you step by step from the first step out of bed to the end of a long day. They've got multiple styles. They fit seamlessly into everyday life. And when the day winds down, that same comfort shows up at night with Cozy Earth's Comforter. It's luxuriously soft, light, and naturally temperature regulating, so you stay cool, calm, and comfortable all night. No heaviness, no overheating, just deeper rest. And that's what sets Cozy Earth apart. Every piece is crafted with intention and attention to detail, designed to quietly elevate the everyday. And guess what, guys? It's completely risk-free. They've got a 100-night sleep trial and a 10-year warranty. Yeah, 10 years. So guess what? You can discover how care in every detail transforms simple routines into real comfort by heading over to CozyEarth.com and using my code Michaels for up to 20% off. That's Michaels for up to 20% off. And if you get a post-purchase survey, please be sure to mention that you heard about Cozy Earth right here on my show. Small businesses are the backbone of the American economy, but getting funding from traditional banks is an uphill battle. And of the 36 million small businesses in the U.S., over 70% report needing additional capital every year. So while revenue is at an all-time high, big banks are tightening standards and approving fewer loans than ever, leaving owners stuck with mountains of paperwork. But if you want bank rates without the bank delays, check out Cardiff.co/Jillian for up to $500,000 in same-day funding. So Cardiff is the largest privately held small business lender in the United States, having funded over $12 billion since 2004. And their application takes less than 5 minutes. And it has no impact on your personal credit. Approvals happen in minutes with same-day funding. So banks try to lock out small businesses. Cardiff has the key. Big banks may not want to approve your business loans, but Cardiff does. So if you've been in business for at least a year and you're pulling in $20,000 a month in revenue, apply now for up to $500,000 in same-day business funding at Cardiff.co/Jillian. Again, that's Cardiff.co/Jillian. Real growth, fast funding, Cardiff, borrow better. So this is a picture of young Newsom in 1991 in an article in the San Francisco Chronicle called Children of the Rich. Okay. One more. By the way, shout out to Dana Bash for doing some journalism. Okay. On CNN, miracles happen. One more, guys. Graphic 6. Oh my God. Rich and reading. There is Gavin. Best dressed Gavin. Rich and reading as a young high schooler. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. But just in case you were still wondering whether or not this guy was a douchebag, let's play SOT 13.
And for those that don't know Willie Brown, you wouldn't know Kamala Harris without Willie Brown.
Yeah, so here's what he did there. Willie Brown was a big politician in California, was mayor of San Francisco. He did date Kamala Harris. He did appoint her to 2 different boards, but she was elected as Attorney General She was elected as vice president. She was elected to every other position she had held. And what he's trying to do here is he's trying to tell you she slept her way to the top. That's basically what he's implying. Is like, if it wasn't for Willie Brown, she never would have gotten anywhere. You wouldn't know her, but she slept with this guy, and that's how she got the gig, because he didn't get the party's nomination, and he's pissed about it. She writes about it in her book, actually. She said she reached out to him when she was running for support, and he wrote hiking in his text and never responded. So listen, I'm not a Kamala Harris fan, but we've got an accomplished, educated woman of color here, Gav. And instead of acknowledging that, you turn around and say she slept her way to the top. That is what you're saying, correct? This coming from a guy, by the way, who slept with his best friend's wife, and also the dumb one who got a 960 on his SAT, who only succeeded because of his rich parents and the Gettys giving him a leg up. I don't know. I can't think of anything more hypocritical than that. Call me crazy. There's one more Gavin clip I do want to show you. This one's important. SOT 18.
You said, just to remind people, while talking about your experience, you said, I'm like you, I'm a 960 SAT guy. Right-wingers and on Twitter and Fox News hosts and some even Republican elected officials have said that's racist. I mean, what goes through your head when you saw that commentary sort of building and bubbling?
Well, they didn't say it when I talked to Charlie Kirk and said the exact same thing, or the dozens and dozens of other occasions where I've said exactly the same thing. It was a hell of a statement, particularly from people that have been countenancing racism in their party for decades. The same pundits, Sean Hannity, let's call them out by name, that didn't say one word, still haven't said a word about the racist videos that were put out about Michelle Obama and Barack Obama. Nothing. Not one word of condemnation of the President of the United States that put out those racist videos, or shithole countries, or the birther issues. Not a word said. We're offended by someone who writes a book about learning disabilities and struggles academically and then expresses them in a mixed audience and somehow accuses that person of patronizing or somehow demeaning or being racist himself. That's a hell of a statement of the weaponization and the propaganda, the network, this machine that these folks have.
All right, you're probably wondering why I showed that to you. Well, I should show you his answer to it, because that is the responsible thing to do, and you can decide for yourself what you think. But here's what I took away from that. This is why I get frustrated when Trump gets down in the dirt with these people. And I know people think it's funny, and I know that they think it's deserved. But the tit for tat allows Newsom to evade responsibility, flip the script, and point the finger. And I don't want to give them those talking points. And I'll be honest, I didn't like the freaking meme of the Obamas as monkeys. I think it's gross. I know that Trump said, he didn't know about it. It was tacked on to some other video that was at the end of what had been clipped for his social. But the reality is, this is the leader of the free world. This is his social media account. I would argue maybe billions of people are looking at this. And you got to be more responsible if that is in fact the case. And if it's not, it's gross. Don't do it. I think that we do have to kind of police ourselves in order to have the upper hand in the moral high ground and to make the stronger arguments. So I get it. I read your comments. I appreciate all of them. I do. But these are the reasons that I try to stay as authentic and honest as I can. I'm clearly partisan. I'd love the State of the Union. I'm clearly partisan. I don't know what to tell you. But I try to do my homework, and I try to be honest. I try to wait things out. I try as hard as I possibly can. So that's the last on Newsom. I want to leave you with something fun this week. I think it's fun. I don't know if it's fun. It's you decide for yourself. Here's Joe Rogan talking about Jeffrey Epstein's prostate. This is SOT 19. All right, guys, if you like this clip and you want to watch the full episode, click here. And if you want more content like this, you can subscribe to the show by clicking here.